Hey, welcome to the Sinner and the Saint. I'm Melissa Bell.
And I'm Allison Kane.
And what are we talking about today?
Oh, we're talking about a few things. Joshua, tribes, guards.
Yes, we have a whole series on leadership.
That too.
4 weeks series. So we're going to break it down for you. And this is kind of for maybe someone that's a leader or also someone that is just looking for a better grounding on who they are and where they're going. I kind of saw a theme in my life as I've grown over the past 5 or 6 years and saw an aligning theme in Joshua on what changed in my life that made me stronger as a Christian and stronger as a leader and believer and wife and mom and all that stuff. So
when you hear the word leader, don't get freaked out. Like, well, I'm not a Bible, a leader or what? Yes, you are.
Yes.
If you're a woman, you're a leader. You're a leader in your home. You're a leader with your children if you have them, with a spouse, with your neighbors, with PTA, with school, with church. Like you're a leader. If you have influence on other people and people call you and you have friends, you're a leader.
Yes.
Everybody's a leader.
Like really, when I first told you about this study, you said, oh, it sounds like a great leadership study. And I was like, yeah, I guess. Sure. I don't know.
And we all need it.
Right.
We all need it because we are all leaders. It looks different, but I think sometimes we sort of say, oh, well, that doesn't apply to me.
Yeah, I was thinking that when you said, oh, it's like a leadership study. I'm thinking, well, I'm writing it, but then that doesn't apply to me.
Girl, you crack me up.
So, where are we going?
Well, throw in a little tidbit about Joshua. Let's set it up. Let's set the stage with just sort of a little background on him. He's a pretty cool guy.
He is a cool guy. And, I'm kind of an aggressive person. But the fact that he took down the walls of Jericho with trumpets, that whole scene was like mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Because as an aggressive person, my first go-to is not going to be trumpets. So that's what I had to dig in.
You're like, not guns, not fists.
I mean, you could blow the wall up.
Cinder blocks, throwing blocks and cannons, none of that.
There's the element of surprise where you climb over the wall.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine being a fly on the wall for that? Well, I guess you wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall in this particular, but being around and picturing and witnessing the power and the surprise and just the magnitude of this with trumpets.
Yeah, that is really what got me into this story, which then, because, we've all probably sung Joshua fought the Battle of Jericho and the walls came tumbling down, blah, blah, blah. But when I was reading it again, at my adult age, I'm not exactly emotionally adult sometimes, so I'm going to say at my adult age, I was like...
That's fair.
So people just agreed to march around the city quietly. Like, I can't even be quiet for a minute, right? But they're quiet going around the whole perimeter. And he had the buy-in from these people. How did he get the buy-in from these people? What made him like a valuable leader, valuable enough that these people were willing to actually follow him into this crazy plan of his?
I know. If you think about it, he must have been truly respected.
Yes.
And surrounded himself with some good people.
Yeah.
That honored him and honored the person. They must have also seen, it's so much easier to be a follower and, go along with a leader when you know that they're being prayerful and they are actually thinking about stuff before they act.
Right. And also, we know that these people have a track record, right? This day and age, you don't need a track record to get a following. You just need some really chaotic, like, milk crate, gym in your yard or something. People are going to watch it.
I was going to say, just some weird TikTok video and you're like, in like Flynn, man.
Right. But in order to pull something off of this magnitude, you have to kind of have it. You have to have stood the test of time. And, so anyways, this whole 4-week study came from digging into Joshua and writing down all the nuances that put him where he was the day that they decided to fight the Battle of Jericho.
By walking and trumpeting.
Right, but not trumpeting on the first day.
No, not the first day. That, we'll get to that point.
Y'all, how long have your kids been in band this school year? And if they're in band and they brought one of those little, instruments home, did they keep their mouth off it for a day, or were they just blowing that horn upstairs?
I know, that little recorder.
Yes.
Oh, no way. It's like telling them not to touch it is like dangling free candy in front of their face and telling them not to eat it.
Those are the things, because that's where my mom was when I'm
Yeah.
like, you mean nobody even made a little
Just beep. Just
right, because if you've been around the band at all, the
right.
trumpet player is always over there pretending they're blowing the spit out of their trumpet, and they're just making a little noise over there.
And he's like,
Yeah.
no more. Nope. No
Anyways,
trumpet.
I digress.
So we'll start with his tribe,
Yeah.
his people. And I love the beginning scripture that talks about he had a rear and a front guard.
Yeah. So we're in Joshua 6:9, and it says the armed guard marched ahead of the priests who blew the trumpets, and the rear guard followed the ark. All this time the trumpets were sounding. Now this is when the wall actually came down. But the important thing we're wanting to see is that there is an armed guard in the front and behind. And so as Christians in this world, we need to have a front and rear guard. I recently started hearing about this within the past 2 years, and I was like, people are praying, just go as our rear guard. And I'm like, what does that mean? But also me as a survivor, I like to be in the back all the time so I can keep an eye on my people and make sure that nothing is coming. And if something's coming from behind, I'm going to go ahead and take them out for you. You know what I'm saying? You want me in the back of the line.
So you're a good rear guard.
I'm a great rear guard.
But you also need one sometimes.
Correct.
Which takes humility. And it takes knowledge and trust.
Yeah, so we're
to
asking
acknowledge
you, who are your people? Who are the people that are trusted, that have been tested in this world? Not only tested, but they've responded well under pressure. When life started to cave, I don't know, they didn't shave their head and take a baseball bat to a BMW car. Sorry, Brittany. And they're truthful with you, and they're not afraid to sit with you in the muck and mess, and even maybe tell you when you are the creator of your chaos.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. The truthful one.
Yeah, that's why you're in my life.
We need those. We definitely need those people, and I think just kind of stopping and taking stock of who those people might be and those specific qualities that you're talking about, like trusted, tested, truthful. The 3 T's today. So you don't need to trust everyone with your story.
Oh gosh, not everyone deserves to hear your story. Let that sit there for a minute. Not everyone deserves to know every aspect of you, but there are a few tried and true people that if they do, they would use it for your better and for your good.
That's right. That's right. And that's why the trust comes in. And you don't, sometimes we meet people and the Lord may place it on our hearts to share our story with them for a certain purpose when we don't really know if we can trust them, right? But if you're following God's just sort of nudging in that, and it may be something that helps them along the way. But usually before we open up to people, we have spent time with them. We have sort of thrown out other little nibbles of bread, and seen how they react.
Yeah.
And what has happened with that information and that sort of thing.
Yeah. And these people generally are within our circle, and we just may not have given them enough forethought. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We're looking for people that are already there.
Yeah.
In our daily lives that we encounter and cross paths with, and we just haven't given them the opportunity to be one of those people.
Yeah, but here's the thing about God. He'll just keep parading them in front of you. Right?
Like, hello, wake up. Here she is again.
Right. And sometimes your people hopefully, actually, your people don't look and think like you do. Now, don't get me wrong. You have the same moral compass.
Right.
Right? You all have the same end goal. You're just going to pick different paths to get there.
And that's okay. And that's the beauty of it. Right. Because that's where we get our different perspectives. And, you walk away and it's like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way. Like you leave empowered and encouraged and exhilarated.
Yes.
Not drained or...
Yeah, that's something to pay attention to. I think if someone drains you, like if you leave this person all the time feeling drained or their number comes up on your caller ID and you're like, oh gosh, I don't have the energy for this, that person is probably not going to be one of your trusted few for the tribe. Right.
Because you're not, it should be a balanced kind of friendship when you're in a tribe together. And I'm not saying that that there aren't times when, as friends, I may have a crisis going on, so I may talk more and you listen more and give me advice more. But it's not always about me, right? And so it goes back and forth, and that is what true friendship and a true tribe looks like.
Yes.
Not someone that constantly, is the talker and you
taker.
Don't get to share. Yeah, the talker and the taker. Now, God puts those people into our lives for a very important reason as well.
Yeah, sorry, you can't write them off.
Yeah, I mean, we're called to love on those people. We're just saying everyone kind of has a place in your life, and with those people, you probably need healthier boundaries.
Right.
To protect yourself, your time, your emotional well-being, and that sort of thing, but still called to love and pray on them. Pray on them. Pray for them.
I didn't see that part of you yet, Allison. This is new.
So that's the difference with that. And then, what's this tested word? Are we testing? Do people have to take a test before they're friends with us?
Oh, yes. So I start out with multiple choice, and then we get to the essay questions.
Oh, dang it.
Right? But really, I think you just want to stand back a little and pay attention to how they respond to life. And not to say that when life throws them a humongous tornado that they may crack a little, and that's okay. But on a day-to-day basis, or, in your typical hurdles of life, are they responding with grace? Are they responding mercifully? Are they relying on Jesus? Or are they relying on bourbon? I don't know. That was for me.
Well, so this is an interesting point because I think it can go both ways. I want people to see me. I want to be tested. I want people to see the true, authentic me, and that I love Jesus, but I do cuss a little, and I work on that. Y'all pray for me. But I mean, Melissa says it's her fault, but it's really not. I have to take responsibility for that myself. And so if you can't handle that, I probably shouldn't be in your tribe because that's just who I am. And so, I think there's the flip side of this. When you kind of want to be friends with somebody else and it's not clicking.
Right.
Just respect and honor that.
Yes.
When someone doesn't let you in, I've been in that position where, people I'm just not their person. And
it's so hard.
It's so hard, and it can be hurtful sometimes, but again, it's really not going to be that great if they don't really like who I am.
Right. And
that I count on Jesus or whatever it is that they don't like.
Right. And I think I was thinking more along the lines of, so oftentimes when this person is faced with a trial, is their go-to, I'm going to go kick the door down and beat some truth into them? Or is it like, I'm really pissed off and here's how I feel about it. Beep, 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 beep. And then, however, I can understand that they might be going through X, Y, Z, right? So that's kind of the balance I was looking for.
Seeking wisdom.
Yeah.
Being okay with, venting a little in a safe place with your trusted people.
Yes.
And I think that's another thing. Having those people, your trusted people that you can... I know we do this, and we've talked about this before with each other. Sometimes you just have to vent.
Yep.
And what you're going to say may not be appropriate, and you may not like really mean it, but you just got to get some feelings out, and you need to make sure that you're saying that to somebody who really knows your heart
and loves you and has your best interest in mind.
Yes, that isn't going to like record you and stick it on TikTok, right? But is going to listen and then redirect you.
Redirect you. Redirect me a lot.
Okay, do you feel better now? Okay, so me too. But now let's talk about a solution. And to be okay with that. Like, it's okay. We're never, like we talked about anger before.
Yeah, last week was anger.
Yeah, so, it's okay. We've talked about that. And then I really think that rolls it right into, you want people that are truthful. Not just that they're honest people, but that they're truthful with you in your tribe.
So truthful for me is you're going to say, hey, Melissa, I hear you and I understand why you feel that way, but this is really what you need to be focused on, right? Which you do with me a lot, and I'm thankful for that. Don't call someone that you know is going to give you the answer you're looking for, because I have lots of people that I know I can call and they will just agree with me, and then I can go on my merry way kicking down doors.
I know you do that for me too, and I'm grateful. Like we have to rein each other in. Yeah. And again, there will be people in your life, friends and people that cross your path that you are truthful with, hopefully, and they're not going to want to hear it. And so they'll cross you out. They'll kick you out of their tribe, and just be okay with that. If you're being truthful, I mean, they want you to be a liar. Well, that's not a good quality. Like, even if it kind of hurts your feelings that you're not in the tribe anymore or invited into the tribe, you don't want to go under, being someone that you're not. And certainly you want to be that truthful, trusted person.
Yeah. And here's a few other things. If you're going to want to attract your tribe, you have to first put yourself out there authentically. Mm-hmm. And I know that is really hard in this day and age, to be honest and authentic and truthful about who you are. And so that's why probably in a bar or a big scene, automatically I go to bar, sorry about that. You're not letting all your freak flags fly, right? But the truth is, when you get into a small setting, an intimate setting, if you feel mostly you have to bite your tongue,
tuck it all in,
is probably not your people.
Right.
And so also, so who can you be truthful with? And when you find those people, it is so important that you say, and I mean, I have said this, I just want you to know that I'm giving you like authority to at any point call me out. Like, you have permission to call me out, tell me the truth, because I know that Allison, for instance, is coming from a place of love and care for me. She's never coming from a place of jealousy or frustration or trying to, hold me down. That's not who she is. So that's why I feel like I can trust and honor our friendship and say, please tell me when I'm stepping out of line. Or I'll be like, hey, I have something to run by you. I think I'm way off on this one. And so finding those people and giving them permission.
And on the flip side of that, when you are in someone's tribe and they really trust you and they come to you with something that you don't feel comfortable answering, just be truthful and say, you know what? I don't think I'm the person to help you with this. That's okay. That's being truthful, and that's still being helpful
and loving. Yeah.
Yes. And they're going to trust you. It's okay to be like, you know what? I don't think I'm the person for this, or that puts me in a weird position. I love you. But let's figure out where else you could go for that.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And hopefully they'll, honor you for that in your friendship. So I love this list that you made, some questions that you can kind of ask yourself when it comes to these people in our lives.
Yeah. So, first I think you should make a list of 3 to 5 people that you think might be candidates, right?
Not that we're interviewing, but
But you know what I mean. And then, like, out of those people, when life falls apart, are they the ones that you call first? Because probably those are going to be the top on your list.
That's right.
And then Do they exhibit maturity in chaos? That's a good question. We talked about that earlier. But we're really going to dive into this in the Bible study. And so we'll have the resource on our website. And if it's not here at this recording, it will be shortly. Because we're really going to take some time and dive in and help you navigate this, find your people, and learn how to love them well.
I'm so excited. This is going to be a cool journey.
It is. I'm excited.
So often, the reason why this has really hit home and been awesome that the Lord just placed this on Melissa's heart is that we hear from women. We hear from you all the time. Lonely comes up, don't really have people, their tribe. They don't have their tribe. They're trying to find their group of people. They're trying to find a space where they feel safe, where they can share things. And so I think this is going to be a great exercise to go through.
Yes, you guys. So exciting. We're so glad to be on this journey with you and know that all this comes from our own trial and error.
Yes. And we're always still learning. So, we're never the masters. But we'd love to share the tidbits we've learned along the way. So thanks for joining us this week. We look forward to being with you next week on The Sinner and the Saint.
See you later.